What's up, podcast family? It is Mrs. Darth Saint hopping on here to wish a happy 1-year anniversary to the 28 to 3 podcast and a happy 2-year wedding anniversary to my husband, Mr. Darth Saint himself. Thank you for making our marriage the second most important thing to happen on 3/28. I love you, I love the pod, and I'm looking forward to this football season. Who dat?
Just to make it 28 to 3. Arthur Blank loving it. Up by 25. Toss to White. He's in. What a comeback.
Man, that's a good intro.
You were listening to the very first 20 to 3 podcast on 328. I'm Corey. You're here with Max and Nick. Going forward, any thoughts on what to expect on the pod?
The unexpected.
Expect the unexpected.
No structure. We're just
nothing but
go.
Saints.
Yeah.
Give us the mics, turn us loose.
There you go. That's going to do it for this week.
See you next week.
Boom.
We're here at the 28 to 3 podcast. And for our first guest, who could only be the first guest, a man that needs no introduction, because y'all all knew him, Saints Hall of Famer, Roman Harper. What's going on, Rome?
What's up, fellas? Max.
Yeah, welcome to the show, bud.
Corey. And who's the other third partner in crime right here?
Nick.
Yeah, you've met Nick before at some point at Root. We've had a shot or two with him.
Oh,
so.
okay.
That was Peyton years. Was that when Peyton was there, man?
Yeah, that was the game they kicked the crap out of us. Fun game.
Yeah, it was terrible. That was Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Yeah. We were terrible.
Well, I think we should start with Rome. Tell us a little bit about your draft experience. You know, you were drafted back in 2006 in the second round. So take us through, I guess, that whole weekend. You know, I guess it would have been Friday night when you were selected. So what?
No. It was
Saturday would have been Saturday.
That was when the draft. Yeah. Draft was just 2 days back then. First 3 rounds on Saturday, and then Sunday was 4 through 7. So I was a first day guy. So in all honesty, fellas, all right, it was I didn't know where I was going to go. I knew I wasn't a first round pick, according to my agent. Every team he had done a breakdown on, I was either going to go from anywhere from the second round all the way to the 5th round. So leading up to the draft, I didn't party. I didn't really drink. I didn't hang out really for like months because I just didn't want to get in trouble. I wanted to put everything I had into this whole process so I could look back and say, you know, I did everything I could under my own power to try and put myself in the best position to be drafted high. But I truly had no idea who was all interested in me. I probably talked to 10, 12 teams at the combine, if that many. And then during the visits part of the whole thing, I had 0 visits. I didn't go anywhere. Nobody brought me out anywhere. I had Carolina Panthers safeties coach, Coach Gilhammer, actually came and saw me in Tuscaloosa, and that was the only team that actually tried to come see me or had any contact with after the combine. So I literally had no clue, and it was just weird to me that nobody. You know, I understand why later. As I got into the league and was there a long time, I figured out why. But at the time, I was very naive and just didn't understand it. I was actually quite jealous of other people and envious because I just didn't know. So that Friday night before the draft, you know, I told you I hadn't partied or anything, and I was back in Tuscaloosa, and I kicked the ball out of the park that night. I freaking went hard in the paint, we know, we all know how Roman Harper knows how to get after it.
Well,
that was that night.
Right. Sounds like you got right.
I went all in. And so Saturday morning, I woke up literally as the draft was about to start, about noon, you know? So I literally just rolled over when the draft was about to start. I was like, dude, I got to sober up, get home. It's about an hour and 15 ride. So I showered, got cleaned up, got in the car, drove home. By the time I got home, the second round was just about to start. And I was at home for 30 minutes or so. And maybe 35, 40 minutes. I don't even know. And then my mom was like, hey, somebody's calling the house phone they want to talk to you. And I was like, who the hell would be calling my parents' house phone right now?
The landline?
Yeah, the landline. Like, who would be calling my parents' house phone? So I'm sitting here on my T-Mobile Sidekick and talking to one of my former college teammates, just chatting it up with him on AIM or whatever. And then it was Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis, and they were saying they were going to draft me. And I just hit them with a whole bunch of like, yes, sir, and then I got off the phone. And I got on the phone with him after that. My mom was like, who is it? Who is it? I was like, oh, there's just somebody who wanted to ask about some interview stuff, maybe possible afterwards. Because I heard of these stories where people say they're going to draft you and then they don't. So I didn't want to like disappoint my mom or, get anybody's hopes up. So I just was like playing it cool, just like, all right, they said they're going to draft me, but I don't even know. And then I saw them up on the clock, just like, and like I didn't even see the Saints even on the clock, really. It was more like they were talking about and discussing these couple other picks right in front of me. And then next you know, it like flashed across the bottom. It was like next pick. And then my name scrolls across. Everybody goes crazy. And next you know, a lot of people from Prattville showed up at the house. I didn't want to party or anything, so I didn't plan any of those things. And it was really cool, though, just going back into it. Like I said, I never forget that moment. Then after that, I got to talk to the defensive coordinator, Gary Gibbs, my safeties coach at the time, and just more and more of the guys, and then a couple other media opportunities. And then I didn't go to New Orleans until a week later. It's not like they flew me out like some teams do, the first and second round pick. New Orleans was cool with just flying out Reggie Bush. So like once Reggie got drafted, it was like, we're all good after that. So it was, but it was cool, man. I didn't have to wait forever. And I remember like it was yesterday. So I got drafted. I talked to my financial guy later on that afternoon. I was like, bro, like, and I already knew a car I wanted. So literally I got drafted on Saturday and I had my brand new Benz on Thursday delivered to my house. So it was the first thing. Yeah. I already knew what car I wanted, man. And so it was really cool to kind of, I wanted a drop top. So I got my Benz, which I still have to this day. I drove it today to golf. So it was good.
What?
There you go.
Damn. Well,
yeah. I got like 70,000 miles on it. So it's still riding good. The best way to not be disappointed is literally to put all your chips in. And so saying like, this is how I'm going to do it. This is the ship that I'm rolling on and I'm fully committed to it. And so, and just going all in like that, it just really changed me. It allowed me to, I wasn't focused on anything else. I wasn't in school. I wasn't doing anything but training and really just focusing on trying to be the best NFL prospect at the time as I could be. And even though I get any visits, I didn't get all the phone calls and things like that. I had no idea where it was going to end up. But it worked out in the end. And like I told guys over this past weekend when I was in Kansas City was that, nobody cares in the building about how you get there. It's all about what you do once you get there and how do you separate yourself and become part of the team and make yourself so valuable that the team cannot let you go.
I still don't trust him not to trade up in the first round and mortgage like future first round picks, but
that hasn't worked well.
Like it hasn't, not at all. Yeah, that's been a big topic of discussion. So, like that said, staying put, waiting it out, not trading up, get a guy like Jalen Carter, waiting for a guy like Breezy to follow to us at 29. What are your thoughts on that first round pick for the Black and Gold? All
right, number one, I gotta teach everybody how to say his name correctly. So only reason I know, because it's pretty. It's like bruh, like Braze.
Oh.
So,
really?
Yes. So, Brian Braze is how you really, truly say it. And the only reason I know that is because my college classmate, his name's Todd Bates, actually recruited him to Clemson and coached him at Clemson his first 2 years before he left on the staff. His last year went to Oklahoma. And so he knows Brian Braze really well. And he enunciated it to me. It's like, bruh, man, like bruh Zay. And I'm like, oh.
Dude. Thank you. Thank you for that because I have said it 7 different ways in the last 24 hours.
So that's the number one thing. The second thing I would say is that, man, I think it's a hell of a pick. I actually really, really love the pick. Not only that, but it checks a really big need for this New Orleans Saints defense. Cam Jordan was asking for more help. Well, you know what? Big time help is on the way. Not only is he a game wrecker, he's really good against the run, but he also has some pass rush and wiggle and can get up the field and really, he's bigger than what you think. He plays really big. He has a mean streak and an attitude. He plays with, some gumption to him. So I really like this move. Now, and you just look at his background. He was the number one player coming out of high school, landing at Clemson. He was the best player on the Clemson team as a true freshman, really. Like, if you really watch the tape, he was the best player out there most games and being very disruptive. He tore his ACL his sophomore year later in the season. That stinks. And then coming back his junior year, they had a total defensive, staff for the most part. They were running some similar things, but they didn't ask him to do the same type of things. I thought his junior year, it was a falling off, but I think it was not only the injury, but then also what they asked him to do was not the same. Not having the same staff, not having the same coaches, like that can affect different players. Not only that, but he was ready to go to the league as well. So I'm really excited for him actually, for the Saints going to get him. I don't know if he fell there, but I would be excited, especially being able to get this man when 2.5 years ago, there's no way he would have been projected late in the first round. He would have been an early first round projection. So anytime you can get a high quality player, really great character. Everybody talks about his work ethic and how good of a person he is. I know this from my former teammate. And so I'm actually going to have to reach out to him because he actually already sent me his numbers. Like, hey, I already told him about you, Roman, blah, blah, blah. So I actually have to do my due diligence and reach out to this young man myself. So, but I really, 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 really love the pick because it's a necessity. It's in a place of need. And I really, really like the player as well.
And we'll leave this as like kind of the final closing thought on Brzee. But
good job, Corey. You already got it, baby.
I'm working. I had to really try on that one. I had to really try because I'm going to ask you to answer the unanswerable question of what is the contract with Mickey Loomis, right?
Well, so everybody gives Mickey a lot of credit for that. And look, I love Mickey to death, but the star behind the whole show is Kai. Yes. Kai is the man. I'm telling you, the Saints are in cap restrictions and in cap hell every year. And Kai, smooths them here. Like, he's a magician with the stroke of a pen every year. But I'm telling you, Kai Hartley is the guy that's like the superstar behind the scenes that not everybody on the outside knows, but if you know, you know.
All right, so Roman, best team in Saints history. Which one? 2011?
2009, because we won it all. You got to win it.
Okay.
You got to win it. Most talented is probably 2011, but you got to win it, man. Like, and you got to be lucky. Things got to go right. We played the 49ers in 2011, had like 5 turnovers. Played terrible. But we had
still almost
because we had so much firepower and we were so electrifying offensively and defensively, causing a couple turnovers to get ourselves back in the game. But just one too many blitzes, one too many give up big plays, and it really cost us. And it cost the champs to win another Super Bowl because New York would have had to come to New Orleans in there. Dude, that place would have been
y'all steamrolled earlier.
We wouldn't have been like the 2016 or so Saints that let the Rams beat them at home. That just didn't happen for us. I'm sure we were undefeated that year at home. So electrifying year. But like I said, you got to be lucky. You got to be healthy. Things got to go.
He was amazing.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think we hit all the good points. You've been hanging with us for a while, man.
Oh, man.
We appreciate it.
No doubt. We appreciate it always. You're the man. We appreciate you jumping on. Thank you,
Max.
So much.
Max, this is the first time you didn't talk to me before the draft and say who you were going to pick and who was what. I just want to let you know that before we go. I'm a little disappointed in you, honestly, because am I lying? First of all, am I being honest? This is the first time you've not.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody who's been on.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Who dat? Corey, Nick, Max, I love you. So love you too, Corey. Sorry. I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I really do. It was always fun. And anytime you guys need me, I'm always around. So thank you.
The whole point, the fact that we've even discussed it this much at length, is that you can see why I don't feel all warm and fuzzy about what's happening behind Warner and DeMario.
To Nick's point, you wouldn't have felt warm and fuzzy last year if we would have said Warner was going to get hurt.
I liked Kaden.
No, you fucking did not.
No, you didn't.
You
Nobody
fucking
did.
liar.
Nobody liked him.
Nobody
he sucked.
did.
I didn't think he was going to be.
Kaden Ellis' own dad, Luther Ellis, who Nick and I had his football cards as a rookie.
Look, I'm not Kaden Ellis' dad.
He wasn't confident in it.
I remember when Kaden Ellis got drafted. I was actually kind of pissed when he got hurt. I mean, you want to tell me what's inside my own head?
You're a fucking liar. What college did he go to?
North was it?
Yeah.
Wyoming,
yeah.
Northwest Iowa.
Wyoming.
I don't know.
Ireland? Did I?
No, I didn't say that. Iowa.
Kaden Ellis, #1 fan.
I remember when we drafted him, I liked the pick, and then I remember when he got hurt.
You liked the pick. Okay, why did you like the pick?
Because he seemed to be a good
Because his
quality.
dad played football?
I didn't even know who his dad was. No, I'm serious. I mean, I remember when
his
we picked
dad
him.
was a first-round pick.
That was amazing.
He had good upside for the late round, was 6th round?
This is
7th?
awesome, Corey.
Why
Keep
do you
going.
have a good upside?
From watching his tape and
You
looking
didn't
at
watch his tape? How much tape did you
How
watch?
much tape did you watch?
When I say tape, I mean the highlight reels.
The ones that they showed on WWL after he got drafted.
Well, I mean ESPN or OTAs, whatever.
Okay, so what in his first 3 years with the Saints had you convinced we had a dude?
Oh, no, I'm not. Again, I said I liked him. I never said
But you were
thought
confident
we had
last year going into the season because Kaden Ellis was riding the pine, ready to swoop in and save the day.
I felt good about him as a depth piece.
Did
better
you?
than I did with Bond.
But why? That's what we want to know.
Right. Why
Just
did you
because- I mean,
like
like,
him?
why
What did you see in the 3 years prior that led you to believe this guy would step in and do what he did?
I liked his size. I thought he was disciplined as a defender. And he had decent speed and ability. He didn't miss many tackles. I mean, watching him in preseason and...
Corey, you're losing it right now.
Boy, this is good. This is good. Keep going.
You're
keep
asking
going.
me what I observed. This is what I observed.
Yeah.
How
Tell
much
me
did
more.
he
Tell
play?
me more.
Do y'all just feel bad that y'all didn't watch Kaden Ellis, and so y'all were one of the few that were surprised?
We did
We
watch
were
Kaden
one of the
Ellis,
few-
and we did not feel the same way.
Nick, we were one of the few. We were two of the few that were surprised, by the way, of his production.
How many sacks did he have last year? 7, right?
Yeah.
He has 8 in his career. What did you see? That's all I'm saying. There's not a book of watching Kaden Ellis.
So I didn't say I liked him as DeMario or I liked him as a starter.
No. I'm
No,
saying
I
you
liked
felt
him
comfortable.
as a depth piece.
1 sack in
But
3
what
years.
led you-
What led you to say that? That's what we're asking. Not that he's DeMario, not
Right.
that he's going to be a Pro Bowl. What did you see in his
I mean, it's
first
the same
few years?
shit.
What
when-
differentiated him between Zach Bond going into
Right.
this
That's
year?
all we're asking.
That's all we're asking.
Okay, honestly, and without
True.
y'all saying like, oh, okay. No, the guy played with more fucking effort and heart than Zach fucking Bond.
Wow.
When you watched him in preseason, when you watched him in camp, which I did, he played like he gave a shit.
So
and I didn't see that out of Bond.
You know, Bond was lights out in the preseason like a year ago. That's where
Everyone
the whole
thought we had
hashtag
something.
bonfire thing
Everyone
came
thought we
from.
had something with Bond.
Yeah, we all did because Bond was lights out in the preseason. Ellis never showed up in the preseason. But tell us more.
Send me the link of the tape you watched.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I want to see it. I just think he came out of nowhere this year. That's my opinion.
Well, the
I
7
did not
sacks
watch
is out of
him.
nowhere.
I
The
didn't watch
production.
him.
I didn't either. And look,
No.
none of us did. No one did. Everyone was caught completely off
So the guy
guard.
that actually remembered who he was from the preseason and the draft gets shit for actually watching him.
Okay.
But that's
But that's
fine.
revisionist
The
history. I don't think
That
you
is
would actually
absolutely
remember.
Corey,
The
you can fertilize concrete with that statement.
Tell yourself what you got to tell yourself. But no, the 7 sacks out of the blue. Yeah, absolutely. No one. I didn't.
All I'm going to say is coming into last year, there was nothing on tape in actual gameplay that would lead someone to that thought. He was very much an unknown. He was an unknown.
Forgive me
He's
for
an
being
unknown.
too plugged into our fucking team during the draft
you're
in the
not that
preseason.
good
I mean,
at it, dude.
if it's on WWL, who gives a shit?
A sack in 3 seasons.
If you go to a training camp, you see the guy in person.
You have not seen him or observed him do anything
so
that
you,
led you to believe
you know
this dude would
what I've
fill in the way
seen.
he
You know
did.
what I've done.
I know you're full of shit if you say otherwise.
Corey, I'm going to be honest with you. If you watched every play he played in the Saints preseason,
still
I
wouldn't say
still
this.
don't think you could definitively say that guy was going to be a player.
No one did.
Again, I said I liked him as a depth piece, not as a 7 sack dude.
We're
No
asking
one
why.
saw that
Like,
coming.
What led you to believe this?
Let's
passed the eye
pivot.
test
Let's
for me.
pivot.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the 28 to 3 podcast. This one is going to be the quote-unquote charcuterie board episode. We're not going to just stick with meats. It's going to be charcuterie and cheese. You know, Nick and I used to own a couple of restaurants in the city, and we're going to go back to our restaurant days and go ahead and compare current Saints players to different items on the charcuterie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and start it off. So, Corey, I know you have some opinions on cheeses and how they equate to current Saints players. So give me one of your top comps.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's suggestion initially was like, cheese, like compare a.
I think he was doing it as a joke.
As a joke,
it's
a fucking joke comparison.
It's our bonus episode. It's an addendum to the other one. We're gonna roll with it.
Right, and so when I was thinking cheese, I'm like, all right, okay, so we got like pepper jack cheese, spicy. You want to put it on your sandwich to spice things up. So I see that as to me the obvious choice on a pepper jack cheese would be that of an Alvin Kamara. He spices up your offense. He kind of gets to the defense when you're not expecting it. He's definitely not a mild cheddar. I mean, I think if we're going mild cheddar, we're going, a guy who's not on the team anymore. That would be Andy Dalton. I know he's red hair, but mild cheddar, I'm going with Andy Dalton on that one.
Man, Andy Dalton's like that shredded cheddar shit you see on like every...
Yeah, it's like a mad cheese.
He's American slices in the plastic wrapper, dude.
Here's what
Hold on, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
And I think everybody who has listened to any episode of this pod series would ask the same question. What type of cheese would you compare Kaden Ellis to? That is the question that is on all of our minds.
Man, like
Nick is sitting there waiting for you to have an answer on this one.
Like a really nice, like smoked.
You got nothing, do you?
More than no. I got something. I'm going in on this one. Like,
don't say mozzarella.
Can you have like smoked Gruyere?
Like
is that something you can do?
Absolutely. I mean,
because it's kind of like.
Tell me why.
You
why
can
does
smoke
he
whatever
you
want.
Well, first off, I liked smoked Gruyere from the minute it was drafted, and also. In
the college it came from.
Out of the Pacific Northwest.
It came from the Pacific Northwest from Idaho. And, it's not often talked about. It's often even overlooked. A lot of times people put other cheeses ahead of it. But at the end of the day, that Gruyere is something that, like, it's good. You don't realize what you have when you have it. It really should have been at the front of the board to begin with, but everyone's overlooking it for some fancy-ass other shit. And just go with it, They could have just gone with Kaden from the beginning, and he could have. Kaden Ellis could have started over Demario Davis, Max. He's so good.
Well, let me ask you this: you're on a roll right now, so give me some other cheese comps. What you got?
Yeah, because I think I'm done on my riff.
Okay, well, I'll give you a few of mine. So we'll start off with Swiss cheese.
Okay.
So with that, I picked the Saints offensive line, and there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes in the line right now due to injuries. Hold on. Due to injuries and inconsistency, those are holes in their game right now. So initially I was going to pick Andrus Peat and just say, his injury history and his lack of pass protection, he's amazing in the screen game. But I decided to go ahead and branch out and say the entire offensive line. That's the hole. It's the inconsistency and there's also injury.
Pointing at the meat and the cheese, telling you what players it is. That's
Iberico ham, cream of the crop. It's the best you're going to get. That's Lattimore, Cam Jordan.
No, Cam's prosciutto because he's old and top notch.
No, man. See, look, with prosciutto, I equated it to Michael Thomas. And prosciutto to me is like, you forget how fucking good it is. And then it shows up on your plate and you take a bite of it and you're like, holy fuck, that's amazing. And it was kind of like last year when Michael Thomas, we hadn't seen him basically in almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. And he comes in against Atlanta in the fourth quarter and goes bananas. And you're like, holy shit, that guy, he's fucking amazing. I forgot how good he is.
How injury prone is prosciutto?
Not as injury prone as Michael Thomas, but
it's not broken.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's annoying and it breaks when you want
I guess so.
You want a
the
big
fat
part of
layer
it,
peels off of it really easily.
All you get is the white part.
It's his Achilles.
Yeah. Next time I eat prosciutto, that's Michael Thomas' Achilles.
It has no feet, so that's good.
For like
I went with Alontae Taylor to chorizo. He's spicy. He brings that heat. He's got fire. He's got fire on the field.
But isn't chorizo kind of mid? To quote the Gen Zers.
I'm sorry.
Mid.
No.
Max is like, what's mid mean?
Yeah.
So was I, to be honest.
The guy wearing the
Google it,
country
bro.
music tank top is not going to go ahead and.
Hey,
raise
shout out
any
to my
questions about
fiance Lizzie
charcuterie.
for going to Country Music Fest for her job and bringing me back a tank top from the Wildwood Country Music Fest. I mean,
That
I'm
almost fits.
Yeah.
going with like.
What's your thoughts on who's blue cheese on the roster?
And
This one's
why,
easy.
And why is he blue cheese?
This can go two ways depending on the person, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna. I'll throw
Many
my 2
people
cents.
hate it.
I hate. Blue
I hate
cheese.
it. I fucking hate blue
Okay,
cheese.
I hate
if you
blue
hate
cheese.
blue cheese,
It's a love or hate guy.
But exactly. So
what about
Corey said
Valdion?
it.
You hated Valdion blue cheese?
Hold on, Corey said
Valdion
it.
blue cheese is fucking delicious.
Corey said it. It's love hate, meaning.
Nick out here with the name brands of blue cheese.
Hold on.
Like, I'm going
Corey said it. It's love hate, aka it's polarizing.
Yep.
Who is the most polarizing?
It's very
player
polarizing. That's
on
good.
the Saints roster. Jameis fucking blue cheese Winston.
Yeah, if you're in the social media sphere, yes.
I think we've hit our
We are.
quote.
we are. We're,
We
we're
are.
firmly in
Jameis.
there.
We are firmly in there.
Are we gonna talk about the backup again?
I
We're
think
just
you got
bringing up. He's blue cheese. He's polarizing.
polarizing.
What story-
Cesar
what-
Ruiz is polarizing.
What guy?
If you think blue cheese sucks, Marcus May.
Now I'll tell
Marcus
you,
May would be my second choice after Jameis for this.
For
I
what
agree
he's
with that.
getting paid, it's a pretty stinky situation.
here's a guy who. Hey, stinky.
Well, Andrews Pete raises his hand.
You were worried about me
He
coming
does.
in with the dad jokes. Nick just came
brought
in,
it home
came
for
in
you.
hot.
No, he had a good point though. All right, time out. Give me your take on Taysom. What is he?
Okay,
On
so
the,
we're-
Time
okay.
out. On the grand charcuterie board scheme that we're talking about. Now that's the board. That's everything on the board. You've had plenty of them at Root, so you know
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
I'm trying to think.
He can be anything on the board. Anything that comes out on the board, he could be. What you
Well,
got? for
obviously he's
Taysom?
going to be like the most. He's going to be one of those, whether it's a meat or cheese that everybody likes, like most versatile.
So what is it?
Could play every position. I'm trying to think.
What's on every charcuterie board? Let's go that route.
Let's see if you go with what I got.
I'm going different, I bet.
Might be. We might be on the same page. Let's see.
What's on every charcuterie board? Pepperonis.
Nick, what you got?
That's pizza.
Oh man, I should have owned a restaurant.
Nick, what you got?
The little pickles.
Blood
the little
sausage.
pickles.
But that's not on every board.
That's
bro.
not
It's not. I'm not going with the same approach as y'all.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, give us your reason. What you got? Blood sausage?
Because someone's bleeding when he hits a
So-
motherfucker.
That's good. That's good. That's fucking good. So
Nick's out for blood.
Morcia is
He's
what
a
you want
fucking
with.
mean motherfucker.
That's good. I like it.
Morcia's good.
No, that's the blood sausage. I went with the fucking spreader. The little fucking metal knife spreader.
Oh, you're not
deal.
even. See, that's cheating.
Wait,
Well, it's not cheating, though. It's on every board.
Hold on. You're dogging on me for hypotheticaling Matthew, and you're going with a piece of silverware?
He
You're
went
not
utensil,
listening.
baby.
If you rewind, and you will listen to this pod, and you'll hear me look at you and say, hey, it can be anything on the board that comes out.
I don't know.
What comes out on every charcuterie board? The fucking metal spreader.
I'll let you go with it.
Taysom touches every part of the offense and the special teams.
Okay.
The spreader touches every part of the board, whether you're doing with a rillette, a pate, the fucking jams, he touches everything. That's why I went with that.
Okay.
You're going to love my comp for Traquan.
I was
Wow,
not.
you went straight. You
Well,
going all
then
the way to Traquan.
I'm going to
Holy
go.
shit.
Well, Kaden Ellis is the board then. He's the piece of wood that holds it all together.
He's the rock of this whole situation.
I mean, I think I said mild cheddar,
You
American,
did. You said
pepper jack.
You went through the whole Subway menu with yours.
went-
I love a Subway,
He
man.
went through the cheeses
Don't-
that come in a bag at the grocery store.
Do not at me on Subway. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to Rouse's and not putting together charcuterie at my restaurant.
How many American cheeses have you had on a charcuterie board?
There's only one
Honest
American
question.
cheese. It's Ryan Ramjet. But
Come on, bro. You got something on
we're
this.
41 minutes into the cheese episode, guys. Come on.
Oh, it's great. It's fucking great. This is
I'm
why
just-
we had to separate the two episodes. We
I'm
didn't
just
go
like-
for 2 hours.
I'm
on
going
one.
Making
week.
sure.
Fuck, this one's fun.
Shit, I didn't even say Colby Jack.
You say what? Colby
Colby
Jack.
Jack.
Okay,
Yeah,
who?
Colby
Who?
Jack.
Another bag cheese.
Oh man,
You're naming. You're naming
Do
shitty.
y'all not do Taco Tuesdays at home? God.
You are naming shitty Robert's fucking cheeses.
He thought you said Subway cheeses, not charcuterie cheeses.
Colby Jack.
Sure.
It was 2 for $4 at the Rouse's the other day, dude.
So it's on
I
everything.
got me
this
some.
week.
I got me a 10 slice pack.
I got
of Pepper
6
Jack.
bags of cheese.
Literally, I just actually bought it before we even thought. think.
Well, give us one more.
All right. Okay. Who else? We didn't talk about punter yet.
Oh, all right.
And
Gillikin or Headley? So you're going Gillikin. What is he? What type of cheese?
You know what Gillikin is? He's the like, okay, hear me out. Like, follow me here. White American, but like you go to someone's house like for a Saints game, and they got like finger sandwiches and party platters, and then there's like cheese cubes on the party platter.
That's usually Kobe Jack.
But there's
he can't get it out of his head. He's got it at home four different ways.
I go for the Kobe Jack. I don't bring that shit
home. We got
home.
the slices, the shredded, the cubes. We got all the Kobe Jack cheese.
We've all seen cheese cubes. We've all seen it. Seen the cheese
Those
cubes.
are cheddar and Swiss, I believe. The cubes.
Sometimes there's white American. It's like punting
it's all
on.
The same.
It is a punt. It's not the best punt, but it is a punt on the party platter. When you bring cheese cubes,
it's throwing a shitty party. Is that what you're saying?
It's a punt.
Wow.
If you have cube cheese on your charcuterie plan, you just didn't give a shit.
You punted.
You bought it at Rouse's.
You went to Rouse's.
You punted. You could have gotten literally anything else.
You know what? No, honestly, under that premise,
you punted.
Nick, under that premise, he's spot on, and I applaud him for this because you punted on it if you bought that shit.
Yeah.
That's good.
I didn't think about that before. 40 minutes to bring us up. Were you thinking about it the whole time?
I just came up with that. You're welcome.
Honestly, that was your best thought.
I feel like Corey's like the whole time. Like I can't wait to get to this punter situation.
No, I just like maybe y'all should have asked me everything on the spur of the moment. Cheese cube punt.
That's all right. Well, on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap up this special bonus episode of the 28-3 podcast. All right. Welcome to another episode of the 28-3 podcast. Today, we are blessed with the wonderful, beautiful Garland Gillen. Welcome to the show, my man. Good to finally have you on.
Yeah, we used to have these conversations at the bar at your fantastic restaurant, Root. We would go until 1, 2 in the morning talking about the black and gold.
Covering the Saints in training camp. Tell us about what today was, what you expect over the next probably 24 hours. Really.
Yeah, so on Tuesday, Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis meet with the media. There's not a lot of things that we don't already know. And then the big one, I think, is going to be a running back is Kendre Miller. He passed his physical on Monday. You got to have him ready to roll in game one because, I mean, let's face it, Alvin Kamara is facing probably, I would estimate, a 4-game suspension since he had no priors before the incident in Las Vegas, settled out of court.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So if you had to pick your 3 most important guys that need to step up this year for the overall success of the team, who would you pick? Like your guys that their performances, whether it's good or bad, is going to directly impact our success. Like who
Well, Max, we definitely just got to start at Derek Carr. I mean, last year, if you put the quarterback situation, it was it wasn't optimal having Jameis Winston and
it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to be nice here, but yeah, it was suboptimal with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. If Derek Carr has a bad season, then they're missing the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row, which will be the first time they missed the playoffs 3 years in a row since 2014 through 2016. But if Derek Carr isn't firing all cylinders, then that's going to be a major problem. And I think it definitely correlates with my next guy, and that's Michael Thomas. You need him healthy. I mean, he's missed 40 games in the last 3 seasons. This is not working for the black and gold, and I don't blame Michael Thomas. He's been having injury after injury after injury. He's only on a 1-year contract, so it's kind of a prove-it contract for Michael Thomas this year. So I don't know if he's going to push it a little more, knowing that he's only on a 1-year deal. So you need Derek Carr, you need Michael Thomas, and then I think on defense, I need to see some from Peyton Turner. I talked about him at the start. They spent a first round. I mean, this is a first round pick on this guy. Okay, you're expecting some.
He's a favorite player of one of our podcast friends, the Saints Block Party podcast. They love.
Yeah, no, he has got to show up now. This is one of the major keys. So if you gave me like 3 guys I would say those are three that I need to see step up right now and get there in that first game when they play against the Tennessee Titans. I think with the Saints every year, they just refuse to rebuild. I don't think Mickey Loomis is ever going to want to blow this whole thing up. I just don't, I don't know how many years Mickey Loomis has left. I know that they love Jeff Ireland over there, but I don't think Mickey's going anywhere. He likes where he's at right now with the black and gold. You're right, guys. If they're all healthy, which, we talk about, I'm talking about Michael Thomas. Pete Warner is a great linebacker. He's another guy, like, just stay healthy, okay, man? Because that's another one, because they're really thin at linebacker, okay? I don't know who, they expect to step in behind. The Zach Bond experiment is probably going to expire after this season. So Pete Warner would be another guy needs to be healthy to make all this happen. But everything is set up for them to succeed. This is a playoff roster right now. There's a reason why everybody's banking on this team. The over/under win total is at 9.5, and them to make the playoffs. They're the favorite to win the NFC South. Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, you're going to have to definitely get rid of Dennis Allen at the end of the season. But it would be a major problem with all these pieces together. It's set up for success this year. I'm teetering between 9-8 and 10-7 right now, but I would definitely stick in that boat where they should make the playoffs. And I understand what they're saying. At the linebacker position is definitely light. But yeah, the one battle that battle of Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor. I listen to some people already giving it to Alontae. I'm not going to take Paulson Adebo out of that one yet. That's going to be something to watch.
Oh, that's cool to hear because, like you said, everyone else is spinning it like Alontae.
No, I don't believe that yet.
I love hearing you say that. It might be.
Yeah, no, they've already anointed Alontae Taylor is going to get that job, and we need to hold off on that.
All right, so now that we've established that.
Oh, no, this is good.
Now that we've established the green tea chicken wings are your favorite, what Saints player is that? So compare those to a Saints player.
So,
what player on the team most exemplifies?
Those chicken wings, the best part was you would dunk it in the sauce and just let it sit there and permeate in there for about a minute. While Scotty the bartender would make my favorite drink. Miss him. He's Virgin Islands, man. He's over there. Oh
yeah.
He is, man. He is. You follow?
Yeah, I do. I follow on Instagram and watch his life unfold there. It's a beautiful thing. But no, speaking of here we go. I'll lay it up perfectly there. Just like, you're spinning around, the straw in the drink, the stir straws the drink. It's got to be Derek Carr. He is. I know there's a lot of countdowns out there right now, the best Saints players, but if Derek Carr, he's got to be your number one item on the menu. If he's not, this whole thing can fall apart. So I would say Derek Carr would be my favorite, menu item there. He's got to be because Derek Carr.
So you think he most exemplifies?
No, yeah. If you're gonna have a great restaurant and to compare that to a great season and to have a great organization, you need that number one item. And I think Derek Carr is that guy. So I would say Derek Carr is the sweet tea chicken wings of the New Orleans Saints.
I like it. I love the answer. That's what I would have given. I love the answer.
Yeah, no, this was good. Thanks so much, Garland, man.
Yeah, always a great.
Yeah, no. If you need to talk football and food, I'm your guy.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the 28 to 3 podcast. Today for you, we have a very special guest, Ralph Malbrough, at Saints Forecast on Twitter. Might I say,
perfect start.
Host
of my Wi-Fi, he froze up. Oh, this is great. We're not cutting this.
That's right. My thing with saying, there's a whole generation of Saints fans that like don't understand like bad football. They think 7-10 is bad. It's not. It's just annoying. It's just annoying and cruddy. But it's not terrible. It's not hopeless, right? And they have no recollection of it. And I think it's good. Like I'm glad that the Saints have committed to winning, and they have a whole generation of Saints fans that don't understand really bad losing. If you're 23 years old, if you were born in 2000, if you were born the year they won their first playoff game, the Hazlitt years mean absolutely nothing to you. Nothing. Yeah. But we can talk about that, or we can talk about whatever you want. I came out of a meeting, and I was in like a 2.5 hour work meeting, and I come out and I see Jimmy Graham trending, and I have like 40 notifications. Yeah. I'm like, holy shit, did Jimmy Graham die? But he didn't die. And I was just like, wow, but it didn't shock me because, and he last year in the summer, he's like, Saints are going to sign Jimmy Graham. Like they both want it to happen. They feel good about it. He's going to come in. He's going to do a work. Like it's going to happen. Like it's agreed. And it never did. And we gave him shit over it in the Discord. But then it happened this year. And I mean, we'll see. I'm just excited about it. Feel good stories like that make me happy. So we'll see. And you get the jersey repurposed. Oh, yeah. Well, let me. But Brissy is a guy that I looked at when I watched Clemson. I think he potentially, come November, people are going to be like, how the fuck did he fall to 25? Because he was the number one. Right, yeah. He was the number one high school player in America. So that means he has elite physical skills. Because in high school, Max and Corey, you know this, like high school, they don't really even care about production. Right. They just look at height, weight, speed, measurables, all those things. And they're like, we will sculpt you. Do you have the physical skills? And he was the best of the best, like Jalen Carter from Georgia type physical skills. And he would have been a top 15 pick, but he had the year from hell. His little sister dies. He gets strep throat. He gets another, I forget what it was, some sort of liver infection, and gains like 30 pounds in the hospital. Yeah, it was definitely non-football. Yeah, and his tape was dreadful, but he got it together. Like, he is potentially a steal. And to me, that's going to decide whether the Saints are still fun and like grinding between like 8, 9, 10 wins. But if the defensive line is rocking and rolling, their schedule sucks, and the NFC sucks, and that's gonna be the difference between 10 wins and like 13 wins. Because, and I know we're out of. This is my final thing. Rebuilding is for cowards. It is fraud. Boom. Not fun. It's not fun. Love it. It is theft of our money from fans because Arizona, they're not discounting tickets. The Bears, they're not fucking discounting tickets. The Colts, if they don't sign Jonathan Taylor, they're not discounting tickets. Like, all these trash teams are not discounting tickets, and it's theft. And the NFL is not. I mean, if you have a franchise quarterback, you're set for the long term. Everybody else is in a figure it out, and maybe like for the Saints, they're in quicksand waiting for a rope to be thrown to them. I mean, it falls right for the Saints. We might have 3 really fun years with Derek Carr. Like, probably won't win a Super Bowl, but we might have like 3 playoff seasons, and it'll be really fun. But like, that's it. Like, unless you have like an all-time quarterback, there's no long-term plan. I can't wait. It's almost here. It's going to happen. Anyway, so Ralph, thank you so much, my man. And I'm sure we'll be interacting more on Twitter. You and Darsaint at Saints Forecast. Look for the battles coming your way. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the 28 to 3 podcast. All right, you are listening to another episode of the 28 to 3 podcast. We have a hashtag intro and hashtag music, but we got Adam and Ryan from the Saints Block Party podcast.
the collab, the joint episode, whatever the hell you want to call it, you've all been waiting for. So,
time in the making.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Like, I feel like this is even before we start talking football, right? I feel like there's to be like a pause and just realize, like, people who are watching or listening to this is like, what's happening, right?
Yeah.
We're podcasting. We're doing this. You guys are obviously together. Ryan and I are separate, remote, but whether it's through Twitter or just the Saints in general have brought us together. I've known Max for such a long period of time. Like what, 2000? I don't even know when we touched base the first time. 2013, 2012.
Yeah.
Touched base with him when he was at Root. I've known Ryan a very, very long time now. We have a fucking podcast and a business together, which is insane. And I just want people to see, like, it's a beautiful thing. You know, we have a podcast. You guys have a podcast. We don't fucking care. We're not like competing against each other. It's all about uplifting each other and trying to, like, just do good content and just have a fucking good time. And we always have good time content because we're talking about the fucking Saints. There's always something to talk about with this team. So, like, bro, we can just start right today. Like, Jake Hader.
Jesus. Oh my God.
But it's beautiful. And I just wanted to just point that out of, like, these are like long lasting friendships. I met Corey for the first time at the draft, our draft meetup for our podcast. We were doing in April.
Well, I was going to say that's a fantastic segue because, the draft meetup comes along this past year. And I'm sitting there, at my house, Max and Adam Yell, familiar situation with pretty much everyone else. What
are you doing?
TLC?
I'm moving that shit out of the way.
You're selling party over here,
bro. Max.
Corey just waxing poetic. Just a tender moment, bro. Just ruined.
That's
Corey, shut up. I'm out. Corey talks too much. Corey talks too much, so I need to move it over and kind of break up the moment.
If I'm talking too much, you just throw ladders across the room. Is that what we're doing?
That's my new way of doing it.
It's just, I know you're a big WWE fan.
Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon right there, bro.
Like, Jesus, man. Like, this ain't a cage match. Fuck.
Right.
That's how we get Corey to slow down around here. So
I feel bad for
throws
people
ladders is what he does.
Just listening, not seeing like the actual visual.
That was good. That was great. Whether you planned that,
actually,
you didn't. That was good.
So let me say this though.
Yeah.
So I have a question for the older Saints fans generation. Speak perfect.
Hey, just go ahead and say the names, dude. Don't say older generation.
I'm just saying, out of the five of us, I'm the youngest. So obviously, I was a Saints fan. How does this team, its current construction, offensive, defense, rank in terms of great Saints teams in the past? Because I think if you just on hashtag on paper, it's the strength of this team is very deep in the top half of like the elite players at both sides of the ball. Like the team should be in theory really good. And I know people like the national media is not thinking that. But
I'm gonna take it. Corey, you're too young. Stop. You're not a boomer.
Go ahead, Nick. Feel like we haven't heard from you.
Corey, anyone's top three quarterbacks ever. Obviously, Drew Brees #1. Archie, Aaron Brooks. But going past that, man, what is there? There's Jim Everett, there's Vodka Collins. So I mean, Jesus Christ, Bobby Hebert. I'm not even going to say him because
every time Max says vodka,
every time was cold.
No.
I thought Bobby Hebert was cold, man. Like I was young. I'm like, man,
that's how damaged we are, man. That's how damaged we are. We thought Bobby Hebert was cold.
See, Ryan's closer in age than Nick and I, so we're closer in age, so we can feel, we can share the pain that we grew up with.
I'm with Ryan.
This team was fucking trash, man. Yeah, I did too.
He's in Canada.
Right.
What have you done for me?
Yeah, but was he actually good? Was he actually good? No.
We didn't know, though. It's the best we'd ever seen.
It was like the Saints were winning. They were winning 10, 11, 12 games. It was like, so he's good. Like, that's how far our mind went back then. It was like,
that's right.
Well, the Saints are winning.
No, that's a good point.
But then you look back on it, but here's the thing: like, you could be like, say, a top 14-ish quarterback and still have a season or two of like top 10 production. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we've seen that like with Matt Stafford or Kirk Cousins, and
Matt Ryan.
Like that.
Matt Ryan's a great example.
He had an MVP year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you could have a season where everything comes together: the defense, the weapons, running game, coaching, all that stuff. Coaching. That's when it all comes together. And I think this could be that year for Carr. But it's the coaching thing. I can't answer it till I see it. Pete Carmichael.
We have a website, saintsblockparty.com. But every year we made this tradition. We're going to pick a game in New Orleans, home game that we're all going to attend. Last year, I think we got about like 25, 26 people at the meetup. We had brunch Saturday morning. We had the meetup party Saturday night. We all went to the Raiders game. And this year, it's going to even be bigger. We have like at least 6, 7 people coming from the UK. We have people coming from all over the US, Cali, Pennsylvania, Utah, Florida. It's just a huge celebration of just our community as a whole, of just like, yes, we love the Saints, and that's why we came together, and we want to celebrate that, and we want to give back to the people who support us and want to give, send us their hard-earned money once a month, and it's just a thank you to them. And it's a great time. It really is. It really makes me fall in love with the city of New Orleans all over again. I wasn't born in New Orleans, I was born in Texas, but I call New Orleans like my second home. That's my second home. When I'm there, I feel like I'm home. So we love it.
We went to it last year. Was amazing experience. We all went to the Raiders game. We won that game 28-0.
Nothing.
So obviously the best game, best game of the season. Man, all of us were riding a high after the amazing weekend that we had. Elise putting us up at her house, just having the party there the night before.
You might want to edit this out. You might want the non-Patreon showing up to fucking Elise's house like, hey, let me in.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have the address, so it was an amazing. Honestly, was an amazing experience. Probably the best home game of the year, and it couldn't have lined up any better. Just to be able to see everybody in person, we had a great time getting to catch up with everybody. And look, man, looking forward to it this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It just wanted to add this and this is just modern day, but like we have people that we interact with online, whether it be Twitter, Discord, whatever, and they're extended family, they're friends, and so that party last year was like the first time a lot of us even met each other in person, and there's that weird I don't know, but there was none of that, because we seemed like we've known each other for much longer, and it was a beautiful thing to see. We're again, the fact that we have 6 or 7 people coming from the UK, what the fuck, that makes no sense to us. But it just goes to show what Saints fandom can do and what a good community can do. And so we appreciate y'all for letting us come on. Max, knowing you for a long time, man, you're like a brother. Corey, knowing you for a shorter time, but you're dope as hell. Nick, hopefully we'll be able to forge a friendship after this. But this is what it's all about, is just a community of people talking about the Saints and having a good time and hoping people listen and making something out of it.
All right, welcome back to the 28-3 podcast. Sometimes we like to say that, this shit's more than a podcast,
all the time.
And we treat it that way 32 episodes in, and we are thrilled to bring in our guest today who knows that this shit's more than a podcast, and this shit is more than a game. Welcome in, Jono Barnes. What's up, my man?
Let me tell you, any podcast or anything, period, that is named after 28-3 is definitely this shit more than a game certified. So I am honored to be here with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We can all agree that this has been a rough week. Speaking of the X, it's been a rough week on the social media for the Saints fans, man. People are in fucking shambles.
Yeah, we are. And you know what? I want to let my man vent.
Yeah,
what you got for me? Open mic, go for it.
Well, you see, here's the thing. We've all been ranting and raving about Pete and Dennis the past 2 weeks, actually. You say it was a rough week. It's been a bad 2 weeks. I mean, to have a 17-point lead, that was actually the moment where I was like, I don't think shit has changed with this team. To lose that game after all the offseason talk and hype about, we learned so much from last year. But I'm not going to rant about Dennis Allen or Pete Carmichael because it feels like it's just yelling into the abyss at this point. I'm going to rant about us.
All right.
I actually did a meme on last Sunday, but it was actually, sometimes people say a lot of truth is when you joke. I put a meme of a guy looking at a mirror, pointing at the mirror, and the caption I put was, "It's your fault. You got hyped up again about Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael." I mean, that's what I was saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael showed us who they were last year. And God bless the Saints organization. God bless the front office and Mickey and Dennis and Gail and them, because they know all the PR strings to pull to get the fans excited every offseason. Oh, we'll just sign a local player like Tyrann Mathieu, or we'll draft an exciting player, and they're going to be right back on the bandwagon and giving us their money, ignoring all of the history of what Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael are. And we did the same damn thing. And I'm going to be honest, and I love Derek Carr. I'm rooting for him, but if I would have put out into the Twitter world last December, hey, y'all, how do you feel about Derek Carr as our possible next quarterback? Because obviously we all saw that he was on his last days with Vegas. Everybody would have been, the majority would have been like, hell no. And actually there was some rumblings about that because everybody was making jokes about it, saying, oh, look, this is obviously what's about to happen. If Derek Carr's getting benched, Dennis is going to call him in the offseason. And everybody was mad at it. And yet it took him signing and then him saying, oh, I'm black and gold spirit and who that, and just how quick it is for us fans. Right. I even did a skit on it, and it made Derek Carr's brother, not David, but his other brother, Darren, follow me. So now I'm a little like I treat Derek with kid wheels on Twitter. I'm like, I don't want the family to get mad at me. I know they're looking at my tweets. But it just shows how fanatical we are. And it's our fault. Like, Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael, like, shit, we showed y'all who we are. Y'all need to look in the mirror. He had ironically, which is great for this podcast, he had a .283 win percentage coming into the season. Dennis Allen. So I was like, even looking at that as a positive, like, okay, maybe he's playing a long game with us, and like that's a sign that he's going to grow. And obviously, we're recording this in early October, so there's plenty of time for the team to turn it around. But we've been telling ourselves that for the past 2 years, and I'm just tired. I'm mad. I think I got all my yelling out earlier this week, so I'm not as passionate right now as I usually am from people who follow me, but I'm mad at the fans and I'm mad at myself, so I'm going to blame myself, and I'm going to give Dennis and Pete right now some leeway and just say we are. So me, Max, Nick, Corey, we all need to look at ourselves in the mirror.
Carmichael doesn't even want to be there. He's just like, I don't even want money anymore. Just get me the hell out of here.
He's probably already looking at condos in Colorado, saying, Sean, I'm coming soon, Sean. And that's the thing, though. Jameis. I like Jameis and I like Carl. Like, now they're wearing our team's laundry, so you want them to be successful. Oh, yeah. But at the same time, I also get this feeling that we're going to look 5 years from now as Saints fans and be like, we were really arguing, Derek Carr versus Jameis. And last year, we were arguing Jameis Winston versus Andy Dalton. And I was like, guys, it's like arguing, would you rather be shot or would you rather be stabbed? Either way, you're screwed. Yeah, so why are we wasting our energy on this?
Nothing makes...
So then it becomes, okay, is Carmichael that much of a detriment to our offense?
That's the question, right?
Even mid-tier quarterback like Derek Carr suddenly looks like he's on the freaking Nathan Peterman level because
23?
Yeah, he's
we had this conversation
young.
about Zion earlier about how he's 23
I agree.
in the maturity level.
We used to get pissed playing Madden when we were that age. We
used to.
Yeah, still
what you mean, Madden, bro?
I'm sorry.
Don't give us too much credit now, jeez.
That was last night.
On that level, I don't
this
know.
afternoon.
Before I came here.
Shit, maybe I'm mad about
this shit more than the game, right?
Maybe. Speaking of that Packers game, after the Bucs game, did you jump in the shower again? I saw that video. It was fucking hilarious.
The beauty of what I do with my type of content is I try my best to at least bring some laughter to the pain, because Lord knows, not just the Saints, but I do, other local teams as well.
It's funny, man.
It helps, man.
Look, first and foremost, it's real.
Oh, yeah.
Because I swear to God, I'll watch your videos, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's what I fucking do. Before a game, after a game, when we lose.
The BET thing, or no, Love is Blind, whatever the show was. I watch anything, but I mean, I literally watched everything.
So can I give a shout out to, because we're going to be peeling behind the curtain. I want to give a shout out to my wife, because she is the absolute best at being supporting actor for me, and she has no interest in doing the content bits or being
I always wondered.
I didn't even formally ever ask her to like join me. I kind of one day just gave her the phone and say, "Hey, film this," and then you know, obviously because people see themselves in those type of content bits. So I was like, "Babe, we got something good going on," and she's never once complained. And the good thing is, like you said though, it's real. Like you know, I might that's not even a word. I might exaggerate it. I feel like Pico's got a press conference. I might exaggerate it, you know, a notch, but like I try to take like my actual reactions and I calm down after. I take like maybe 5 or 10 minutes after the game. I say, okay, I go back to all the emotions I had just went through during the game, and I say, what can I do now, you know, to put a comedic level, but kind of take it up a notch. Yeah. After that Packers game, I was like, I really just want to take a shower and be done with the day. Hey, light bulb. You know, I'm going to go in the shower, fully clothed, and do that. The Love is Blind one that we did, we literally did that on the fly. Like, they were going to the room to watch Love is Blind, and the light bulb went off. I say, I would rather watch Love is Blind than watch the highlights. I don't want to watch what the Bucs just did to us. Oh, hey, you know what? We can make fun of that. And we do. And that's how quick some of these things come together. And it's real, and I think that's why people kind of gravitate towards it. I love that Buck skit because my cousin, who was like a big brother to me, he was the one who played the Falcons fan at the end. He actually passed away last year.
Sorry to hear that, man.
He got hit by a drunk driver. And,
Jesus.
Yeah, people, please don't drink and drive. Got hit on his motorbike.
Let this be a PSA.
So just like to watch that being at least the top 3 of one of my most popular skits, and like to see him involved with it, it's like it's nice bittersweet, but it's also a cool little thing. Like that like he was involved in it before. He was actually involved kind of in this shit more than the game process too. So I always kind of just he's like my motivation.
That's awesome.
Like, look how everything, you know. I talk to him. I pray to him.
Hell yeah.
At least once a month. I'm like, look how far we've, you know. Dude. Look what I'm doing. Like, I hope you're looking down and smiling.
If people didn't need more reason to support you and wonder, like, you know, because I think there's times where I was like, hey, it's hilarious, but I'm like, did he just think like this shit more than the game? T-shirt, boom, that's it. But like, I love hearing stories like that where it's like on the outside, it's very consumable and hilarious. But when there's like a deep iceberg below the surface, man, like that makes it a good one. That makes it so much better.
And you know, the kicker is, so it wasn't like we all got together, me and my wife or him and my family, and say, okay, we got to come up with a slogan. And when I like this shit more than the game was 100%, it was organic. And the first time I said it, I did not say this shit more than the game. I say it's more than a damn game. And it wasn't even a Saints skit. It was a Pelicans skit. We had just won the play-in game 2 years ago to go to the playoffs. So I did a little skit. Woody Green had did a very good pep talk in a huddle to make us come back and win the game to go to the playoffs. I did a video where I was like real into it. And of course I had my wife recording, and like she's playing the annoying wife. And she's like, Jono, it's not that serious. And I said, this shit. I said, it's more than a damn game.
Dude, I think I watched that because I'm plugged into Twitter on Saints and Pelicans. But I remember that shit back then.
Yeah, and that one was one that, you know, Pelicans people was because, you know, I was a Pelicans ball boy for 13 years.
What?
Yeah, we can get into that later. So I was just glad to see, like, finally, like the city is, you know, embracing the Pelicans. Because winning cures everything, right? And they grab attention. So I'm like, good. The Pelican stuff that I'm doing is starting to catch on. And so the next skit that I did, though, because I remember seeing how popular that skit was, and I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, this more than a game thing, it kind of seems like, you know, it's a cool thing. Like and it's real. Like, again, we didn't script it. Like, when me and my wife do it, like, I kind of give her some points. I say, okay, just kind of say this or that, and I'm going to just kind of feed off of how I feel or whatever.
Well, you know she's going to be, like, questioning, and, like, I mean, shout out to my fiance Lizzie. It's like, we kind of know when our significant others are just going to say something questioning.
Yeah,
so you don't even have to, you probably said it just to make sure that she was going to be herself.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to play it. I always tell people it's not a skit, it's a documentary. We just put ourselves out there. But the next skit that I did is when I say this shit more than the game. And my guardian angel now, he was also in that. I did a stupid skit where I was mad because the Pelicans had lost the game. So I said, Dwayne, come here. And I took my basketball and I said, this is how you play on basketball, Pelicans. And I act like I don't throw them. I said, this shit more than the game. And it just took off from there. So I feel like my cousin upstairs putting some strings in heaven, saying,
he's a Georgia guy. So.
Yeah, no, well, the Georgia thing, man. And not only a Georgia thing, I'm like, I had this way. I'm glad you brought that up. His damn bio. I said, wait a minute, because I was about to tell you guys no, because he went to a Jesuit, and I'm like, dude, hold on. Holy Cross, baby, don't get it twisted.
Talking about Jesuit.
Wait, 3 of y'all went to Jesuit?
Yeah.
So this was a great www.thisshitmorthanthegame.com. I appreciate the time.
Holy shit, I wish I had his face on video right now.
That was perfect.
Wow,
it was like we playing it, like we're all cracking our knuckles, like.
Yeah.
What the you guys
It's a big setup.
You shouldn't be so damn mad about the Saints. You should be used to being in second place.
Oh.
You know,
you put up like
sense of humor.
A double paywall channel, but like the first paywall is shit more the game. Come subscribe, follow, good Saints content. Then it's like, okay, y'all want the real shit?
This shit more than the game after dark. Okay, you see, we just came up with an idea, guys. Shout out to the 28
This shirt's gonna have, but the one that I liked and can relate to, because I'm always like, you know, I'll be waking up my fiance with like stuff, or she'll be like, "Why'd you wake me up?" 21st of September.
Yeah.
Was she actually asleep, or did she know it was coming? Well, you know, actually, you know what? You don't have to let me in on it. But like,
my face probably just told the answer. Thankfully, nobody.
That looked like a fun. But here's the thing I did like on that one, and it was 3:28 a.m.
I know.
People don't see.
Do you think that was a coincidence? Come on.
I knew it wasn't, but I think there are people that missed that.
I do a lot of Easter eggs in my video, and I'm a big Simpsons fan.
Right here.
I'm a big. Well, actually, I'm a huge
Marvel, baby.
Simpsons fan. And Simpsons were Easter eggs all throughout, and that just inspires me. So I'm always like trying to throw a lot of 328 references and 28 to 3 references in my videos. But like, there's some other things that I do that I'm like, hey, if somebody sees it, great. If not, I'll live with.
Oh, we catch it.
But I thought I like that video with the partner. Like, that was hilarious.
A dad joke doesn't offend me. I acknowledge that a lot of my stuff sometimes can be funny.
I love dad humor.
I was telling you guys before the show.
Corey never met a dad joke he didn't love.
I had dad jokes before I became a father.
The bigger I get, the more I get people who are vocal about how much they don't like my content or think that I'm lame or whatnot. And honestly, the bigger you guys will get, I'm sure Falcons fans are going to be like, man, these guys are so lame. How can you brand, a whole podcast about the Saints and y'all had nothing to do with the game or whatever? Yeah. That shit doesn't bother me, though. I love to give my attention and energy to my supporters than to the people who don't like me, because the supporters are the ones who
hell yeah.
They don't know it, but they're also supporting you.
Building you up.
That's what's happening.
Right.
That's what's happening.
For the haters, I always say
they're feeding the algorithm, man.
I may not be everybody's cup of tea.
Engagement's great.
But eventually you got to drink up, motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
But when I see like people wearing my shirt, like, that's always the most amazing feeling in the world. My mom was actually shopping this week. On Wednesday, she was wearing my shirt. Of course, my mom's going to support me.
Hell yeah.
And she was at Walmart, her and my dad, and one of the workers came up. They were like, "You're fans of Jono?" And my mom was like, Jono. Karate or the movie? What are you talking about? She said, "No, you're wearing his shirt." And my mom, "Oh yeah, that's my son." And so my mama FaceTimed me. I wish she would have gave me a bit of a heads up. I was in my pajamas. Yeah. I'm like, "What up, mom?" I don't know. She's like, "Hey, you got a fan here?" And I swear, the fan was like, she was about to cry. She,
"Oh my god!"
And that's like one of those moments where you're like, "Wow, I'm really kind of like, making." And cool. I'm not the biggest creator out there. I don't have this huge audience, but
hey, but it's
going good. That's how it starts.
I know who should be the next head coach.
Who?
And he should be the next head coach. The next head coach tomorrow.
Who's that?
He should walk into Foxborough, be the next head coach tomorrow. Jono Barnes.
That would be great.
We are giving Jono Barnes, the new head coach of the Saints, on Sunday the floor, who's taking the Saints into Foxborough this Sunday. Jono Barnes, and his pep talk is:
I would say, men, look at each other, look at the man across from you, look at the man next to you. Look at them and take a good look, because I promise you right now, those guys are the only people who believe that we're going to leave this stadium with a win today. I've already seen the graphics of congratulations, Bill Belichick, for your 300 win. They are expecting a party today. They have already counted us out. And let me tell you guys something. We've been on the sweet side of this franchise. So I've seen a lot of these same faces in this locker room right now who knows how it is when the sugar is sweet. But what's the testament of a man when that shit turns sour? It's easy to be a top dog when things are going good, but the real test of a character of a man is when your back is against the wall, when nobody believes in you. I'm letting you guys know right now, I believe in you. I believe in the work we put in. I believe in the work that we have done since training camp until now. And yeah, our path isn't as smooth as we would like it to be, right? I mean, we're a New Orleans team. We have a few potholes that we have to go over. But I absolutely believe in everything that we have instilled as a team. I believe in everything that we've instilled as a defense, as an offense. I don't give a damn if our own fans don't believe in us right now. I know that each and every one of you guys believe in us. And I believe that we are going to go out there today and kick the Patriots' ass.
Let's go, Coach.
Look at that. I want everybody to hold your helmet up and look at that damn fleur-de-lis. That's not just a damn logo. That is a symbol of pride for the city.
It's more than a game.
Let me tell y'all something. This shit more than a game.
It's more than a game.
So go out there and play like this shit more than a game, because the standard that we have set for ourselves has not been met the past 2 weeks. And that's a little bit on me. Actually, that's a lot on me. I'll take the blame for that as a head coach.
More than a game,
I believe in you guys. I know you believe in yourselves. So let's go ahead and show the whole damn world that this shit more than a game. And I don't give a damn. We're going to make them hold off on those congratulations, Bill Belichick, for your 300-win graphics another damn week, because they damn sure ain't doing it on our watch. Next week. Know what time it is? It's this shit more than a game time. So let's huddle it up and bring it all together on 3.
Let's
1, 2, 3. This shit more than a game.
Whoa.
And thank you for listening to another episode of the 28 to 3 podcast.
What a comeback!